So we all know those large, highly optimized and efficient farms, as that's what they're meant to be. But what if I told you that these farms could be made micro? In today's video, I'll be teaching you how to construct your very own micro farm just for crops. But without further ado, let's get into the item list. So the first thing you're going to need is a dispenser. The next thing is 2 observers, then a bunch of redstone. You don't really need 64, I just put 64 in. 1 bucket of water, 2 sticky pistons, a bunch of your chosen block, again not a lot is needed, and some bone meal or a lot of bone meal depending on how you are going to use this farm. You can always input extra bone meal from a hopper later on. But the next thing is a hoe, obviously, 1 piece of dirt, and any of these 4 crops. Apart from beetroot. I tried beetroot for this contraption and it hasn't really given any profits really, it's quite slow. But I will say carrots and potatoes work superbly for this contraption, and also of course wheat and surprisingly sweet berries. And it's certified by me. Yeah, I made it. To be fair, it's probably not the best. You could probably make better. But it is quite small, it's quite compact. So jumping straight into this, let's place down our chosen block and then a dispenser on top of that facing towards you. And let's place a temporary block in front of it, and let's use our observer and face it into this block right here. And we can go ahead and delete that block. And right underneath the dispenser will be actually where your water's going to go to obviously hydrate the ground and make everything run. So you could either make a container around this spot and then place the water, or if you want to be even better, you could, if I go ahead and get a leaf, you could also waterlog it. Yeah, that also works, because now you can do that. But for the sake of the demonstration, let's just leave it like this. So let's place the water down and then quickly place our dirt in front of it so it doesn't spill everywhere. And then we're going to dig down 2 blocks below this dirt block, and so we can see it, let's place down a sticky piston like this. So you should see something like this, and we're going to cover this back up with blocks. There we go. And once we've got this kind of set up, we're going to go to the back of the observer. That's this thing, by the way, and we're going to place down our chosen block here, and then 2 more like this. So our observer and our dispenser are now connected. And let's run a redstone dust line all the way to this dispenser. And now going to the back, let's place down 1 more block like this and bring the redstone dust down from the top like that. And then let's put it onto the ground like this. And then let's break this block to the left of the redstone dust, and on this side let's place our sticky piston and break the one in front of it and place our observer facing this way. And then break the block behind the observer. And let's place the redstone dust like this, so it should be connected, and let's break the block there. And this is almost done. The final thing is to add your bone meal to the dropper, like this. And because I'm in creative, I can kind of fill the whole thing in. And let's hoe the ground, and hopefully, if we use our carrots, right click, and it works! You can see in our inventory, our carrots are slowly going up, and also we are kind of eating half the stock, which is, it's alright, seeing as carrots duplicate so much when they're broken. This works. And just for show, let's use some wheat. There we go. Look at this. Now if you look at the observer on the right, sometimes I see a discrepancy where the piston will sometimes, it will push out the observer like this, instead of holding on to the observer. You'll see in a minute. I mean, let me place down some wheat seeds and look at the observer. You see? So the piston is not actually pushing out and letting go of it. It's actually holding on to the observer. And that's how it should be to work this contraption. Otherwise, it won't work. So a fix, if you do have something like that, a fix would be to try and do this all in a different way, a different order. I'm not sure actually why this happens. Even though I've tried this contraption, it's been quite annoying when this actually happens. And also let's try it for berries. There we go. Flawlessly. And then finally potatoes. Hey, good old potatoes. And this is pretty much AFKable as long as you have enough bone meal. And talking about how to get bone meal, let's go over to the other side of the wall where I show you, and the skeletons despawned. There we go, like nothing ever happened. So the first way to get bone meal is to kill skeletons, obviously, so you can get bones from them. And if you do get bones from them, put them into the crafting table and bone meal. Easy stuff. The second way to get bone meal, let me just clear my inventory, is to use food items, or farm items kind of, plant-based stuff basically, and put it into the composter, like, and I'll show you right now. So if I just spam wheat into this, you can kind of see it's filling up, and when it's finally full, you'll see this kind of white-ish texture, and if you right click it, you'll get a bone meal like so. And you can do this with pretty much any sort of plant-based item. you can pretty much do it auto. And if you're smart, you can make this into an auto composter. So if I just spam leaves into this, you can see it's slowly piling up, and when it gets full, it's kind of random, you see, how far it fills up. And when it's full, it will get taken out by this hopper and into the chest. Look, 4 bone meal from that. So one of the main uses for these types of contraptions is to exploit villagers, as you would always do. So as you can see, this villager has 26 potatoes for an emerald and 22 carrots for an emerald. You could just farm emeralds from this machine. But if you're a bit smarter, you would know that if you do trade with him enough, you can unlock this trade. And this is perhaps the best trade early game that you could ever get, because golden carrots are arguably the best source of food. And so technically, this farm is the most simplest to build you up to something that probably would last you the whole of the game. And it gives you free emeralds. I mean, who doesn't want free emeralds? Or if you just want to eat, then but there is one more thing. If you're still watching, then I can kind of run you through how this thing kind of works, if you're interested, hopefully. When the potato is placed down, the observer will detect it and send a signal to this dispenser, and in the dispenser there is obviously bone meal, so the bone meal will help the potato grow to different stages, and each stage the dispenser can recognize that, and when it changes stages, from stage 1 to stage 2 for example, when it grows up, the observer can detect the change and also send a signal to this sticky piston and this observer, and it pulses back so fast that this piston does not get to be powered. And we can kind of show this if I place a potato. As you can see, the piston is not powered. That was actually quite quick, maybe a bit too quick. The piston was not powered until the potato had fully grown, but generally when the observer moves it emits a signal, but in this case it can only emit a signal when it's stationary, and that's only when the potato is fully grown, because this observer has nothing else to detect. Because it's fully grown, there's no other stages for it to go to. And so it pulses to this, it pulls it down, the observer detects that, and pulses it again to pull it back up. And yeah, that's kind of hard to explain really, it just works, I guess. I mean, I'm not a very good explainer, but yeah. And that is that. I hope you guys enjoyed, especially those newcomers. If you are new, then the subscribe button's always there if you enjoy the content, and I'll see you in the next Redstone video. But while you wait, if you are a bit of a noob at Redstone, then this video to the left will have you covered, but the video on the right would also do. And I'll see you over there. Ladies and gentlemen, good night.